All right, as promised in 2013, the Roufusport gang here with our predictions and what's going to happen in the main card of UFC on FX in Brazil. We got Hugo Stiglitz and all of his inglorious bastards, aka Pascal Kraus from Germany, UFC fighter. He's got a big fight coming up in Chicago, and we're going to be rocking that out. You'll see him next week, I feel. Then, of course, we got my man, the Biggie, Mike Biggie Rhodes. Rumor on the street he might be going in to do some glory fighting. Featherweight UFC contender, Eric Newbreed Koch. Our secret of the punch over here, the master of the hook, the sultan of the SWAT, the one, the only, the Kush master, our head boxing coach, Scott Cushman. Then we've got our lovely lady, the jiu-jitsu submitter. She's very cool. And as well, she's here because she's got our brand, Moxie, that's repping the show. So if you're into cool stuff and you don't want skulls and chains and, you know, come on, son. Just like what Ed Lover said, we're over all those skulls and chains. Get yourself some Moxie MMA. So what we're going to do is preview the card. Our first fight, I'm going to go just with Kabib, such and such, Russian guy. I don't want to murder his name or knock it out. Versus Thiago Tavares, a former training partner of ours and our good friend in Brazil, João Zeferino, used to train with him growing up. You know, I'm going to pick that fight. Kabib came into the UFC unawkward style. He's got a different Russian style, different striking with kickboxing. He's given a lot of high-level people some trouble already, but I think that the Brazilians are tough to beat in Brazil. I'm going with Thiago Tavares by submission. And Pascal?
I'm going with the Russian guy, with Nurmagomedov, because I know the Russian folks, they're pretty tough, so I've got my money on the Russian.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Thiago Tavares. I think he's just going to be too much for the newcomer. I think he's going to overwhelm him in Brazil with, you know, with that pride and that passion behind him, and I think he's going to TKO him in a second.
I'm the same way with Biggie. I think just fighting in Brazil, fighting those guys over in Brazil is crazy, you know. I definitely got Tavares in this one.
I'm going to go with Tavares myself. I think being at home, he's going to be able to take the energy from the crowd. And I don't know if he'll be able to finish the tough Russian, but I'm going to take him for a unanimous decision.
And I have Tavares as well. If he trained with Josie and he's a friend of Josie's, then I'm going with him.
Hey, that's good reason. All right.
I like it.
All right, next up, the heavyweight, something I know a little bit about, and I am a little connected to this fight. Friend and longtime student, Ben Rothwell, he's a cheesehead from the great state of Wisconsin. He's going to be traveling into dangerous territory, taking on the crow crop slayer, Gabriel Gonzaga. I'm going to pick the upset by Ben Rothwell. He's been training with some Brazilians, and he's ready for to defeat the Brazilian mojo down in São Paulo, Brazil. I'm picking Rothwell by KO, actually. I think he's been fit. He's coming out there. Big Ben's overdue. He's got a lot of potential, and I think he's starting to mature. And with Diego with him and Luis Claudio leading him, I think he's going to pull out the big win over their crow crop slayer. And Gonzaga's going down in his home country.
Yeah, I got Big Ben too. Even though he's in hostile territory, I think he's going to pull the win and finish Gonzaga.
Big Ben, you know, I trained with him a couple times, you know, really nice guy. You know, once again, though, being down in Brazil with those fans and, you know, the kind of energy they give their fighters, I think Gabriel Gonzaga is going to be tough to beat. I think it's going to be a slobber knocker. They're going to trade punches, takedowns, submission attempts. I take Gabriel Gonzaga by split decision.
And word of the predictions was slobber knocker.
Slobber knocker. Definitely, I think it's a hard fight for both fighters. I think it's a good matchup, actually. Good matchmaking. But I got to go with Biggie, man. Just, you know, not only the Brazil thing, Gonzaga just getting back into the UFC and probably, you know, super hungry. And he's shown what he can do. And like I said, I don't think it's going to be, you know, a pretty fight for either guys, but I think Gonzaga's going to pull it out.
I'm going to go with Big Ben. I think his last fight, you think you see the change in him physically. And for that physical change to come about, he had to make some changes mentally. I think he's going to be strong enough to go out and handle Gonzaga and finish him in the 3rd round.
You know what? You remind me of Teddy Atlas a little. You got that same demeanor. Well said, Coach.
I'm going with what Coach Kush said as well. I'm going with Big Ben. Same thing. All I've seen is him get stronger, leaner, and meaner, especially since he's been with Luis Claudio and Thiago Vega. So I'm going with Big Ben for this one.
All right, now we got the semi-main event of the card on FX. It's going to be the tough alumnus CV Daley, the Doberman, versus Daniel Seraphine, who is on the Ultimate Fighter inaugural season in Brazil. We know a little about wrestling around here in Wisconsin. I'm just joking. We know a lot about wrestling in Wisconsin. Wrestling is religion out here, and the religion that we prescribe to is Askren Brothers Wrestling. So we've all decided that wrestling will dominate this fight. You know, jiu-jitsu is strong and striking, but when you get these top-level wrestlers like CV Dalloway from ASU, we all unanimously think he's going to get the takedown and control the fight from top, possibly stoppage from ground and pound, or at least positional dominance. So we all see CV Dalloway prevailing in Brazil. All right, the main event. This fight is going to be a fan favorite. We've got the old regime, former UFC champion, and the phenom, Vitor Belfort. The guy's been with the UFC forever, and every other major organization. He's got the punch, and he's still hungry. He's made another training camp. He's down with the Black Zillions preparing. So, you know, this is a tough one. And you got Bisping, who's the unpopular guy in America, but the very popular guy in England. You know, let's see if he can make those checks he writes with his mouth and make sure his ass is there to cash it. I see Vitor Belfort trying to put the pressure on Bisping, trying to come in and go for the big KO. Bisping's improved exponentially in his last many fights, and I think one of the biggest things that he did is move to Southern California to get American training and better training partners. But I'm going to give the slight edge to Vitor. One, Brazil, he's going to be emotional, and he does fight for God, man, and he's going to do it for his hometown fans, and he's going to come out there, either get the decision or get the KO. And right after that, Michael Bisping can fight our good friend Alan Belcher, because they both hate each other, and that'll be a slobber knocker.
So once again, I go against the Brazilians, and I think Bisping's going to win that because he has more tools to do it. I think striking, Vitor is better, but wrestling and cardio-wise and footwork, I think Bisping is better than Vitor. And yeah, so I think the English Mike is going to win that, bring it home to the UK.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really tough fight, you know, especially, you know, once again, Vitor Belfort down there in Brazil, you know, the emotions are going to be running high. I think that's going to decide, it's going to be a major factor, whether he can control his emotions and, you know, fight to his ability, which I think he will, because, you know, being the veteran that he is, he's going to control those emotions. And I think he's going to get the early stoppage of Michael Bisping. I think he's going to overpower him and really pressure him in the first, you know, couple rounds. I see it by the 3rd round, you know, him breaking Michael Bisping's will, and I see him winning the decision.
You know what, buddy? You're really on that Brazilian tip. I think you're a Black Zillion. You know, you're a Black Zillion in hiding. Just pointing.
I think it's a good fight. You know, honestly, I want Vitor to win. Being a fan of the sport for so long, I like watching Vitor grow up, stuff like that. But I think in today's game, I think Bisping's going to take it. I think mentally he's there. I think he's finally to the point where he's wanting that title shot. He's really hungry, and Vitor's kind of on the way out. I think it'll be a tough fight because, you know, it is in Brazil, and fighting those guys, especially Vitor, he is very emotional. He's going to bring it that first round, man. So I'm going to take Bisping unanimous decision.
Yeah, love him or hate him, you gotta give Bisping props. He's got some tools. He's a talented fighter. But Vitor, I think he's got a little something left in the basement, and I think he's going to come out with this one. He's going to catch Bisping and finish him in the 2nd or 3rd round.
I'm going to go with Bisping. Like everyone said here, he definitely has more tools, and he's looking for a comeback, a win. and I definitely want to see him fight Belcher, so I'm hoping that happens.
Yeah, all right. Well, that was our picks. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I'm going to just, let's stay connected, man. We're going to have a lot of content coming out. Right after the fights, we're going to have the Rufus review. I'm taking a page out of the awesome Gracie family. They have the Gracie breakdown of the best submissions. All my friends over at the UG, the Underground, you all asked me to do the Rufus review. I'm going to take the best striking moments and review them for you and break them down. I heard I know a couple things about this striking stuff, so they told me. So what I want everyone to do is just pump up your websites, your Twitters, and anything else, your sponsors. Pascal?
Follow me on Twitter. It's Pascal Kraus, K-R-A-U-S-S. Facebook the same. My homepage, pascalkraus.com. And yeah, my sponsors back home, Pro Fight Shop, Maxi Nutrition, Schneeboot. So make sure you check those guys out. Torque, oh yeah, good for mentioning it. Torque is going to sponsor me for my next fight. So check them out too.
Mike Biggie Rhodes, you can check me out on Twitter, Team Rock Biggie, that's ROCBIGGIE. Facebook is Michael Biggie Rhodes. YouTube channel, Seabus King 35. You can check me out on all of that. Thank my sponsors right here, Balance Chiropractic, Gamma Labs, Indestructible, Combat Corner, and a Library Club, man. Stay tuned.
You can follow me on Twitter at NewBreed04, all capital letters, 04 at the end, pretty simple. Facebook, Eric Koch. It's K-O-C-H, not C-O-K-E, like a lot of people think Koch is, K-O-C-H. I'd like to make shout out to Torque. Thank them for sponsoring me for this fight. Really looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting some of their gear here in the next couple days. And then also would like to thank Cellucor for all my supplementation. Best in the biz, man. I love them. Also everybody at Roufusport, man. This is family. We got a bunch of fights coming up, man, and I'm just happy we're all fighting the same time. We get to do this thing together.
I think we got to thank Next Level too.
Next level, big time.
We do our workout, strength and conditioning, best place around.
Home of some of the best athletes in all of sports. J.J. Watt was built there, and many other great athletes. Coach Kush.
You can follow me at Coach Kush on Twitter. Sponsored by Roufusport. Hey, you want to be the best, come train with the best, and I believe that we are the best. So come visit us.
You can follow me at Callie McFace on Twitter, and then you can also follow my business partner. We are launching a new apparel brand. It's geared towards MMA, so girls that do jiu-jitsu, they do kickboxing. If you compete, if you're a fan, whatever it is, it's going to be something a little different than you've seen before. So you can follow us at Moxie MMA on Twitter.
All right, and always you can hit us up at our Roufusport fan page. We just broke 10,000. The Spartan Nation is growing. We're banging our shields, sharpening our swords, ready to go to war in these next few weeks. Make sure you watch our other teammate, one of the top flyweights in the world, Dustin Ortiz, on one of our favorite shows, the RFA, on one of my favorite stations, the Access TV fights Friday night. Also, you can follow me on Duke Rufus on Twitter if you want to get in the crazy world of this twisted Spartan that listens to Bob Marley in his free time, and he's a warrior by day and a poet at night, So we got a lot of stuff happening real soon. I'm going to be launching our Roufusport Online University. And I'd like to thank our sponsors, Tiffin Mats. Tiffin Tough, man, they make this place awesome for us. Toyo Tires is awesome. I'd like to thank Twins Muay Thai. They make these beautiful Muay Thai trunks for me and Thai pads, so these guys don't kill me when they're holding pads, or almost don't kill me. At least their pads don't break like anyone else's. And then I'd like to thank my second family, Morias Jiu-Jitsu, Daniel and Diego. These guys are ninjas. And as well, Funky Ben Askren, man. You're the best. You're the best at coaching, teaching, and disc golf, and of course wrestling. He's our guy. So again, everybody enjoy the UFC this week, and then also we'll have the Rufus review. We'll take you into what happened in striking, and hopefully I'll bring back all my friends. And definitely a big shout out, ladies. Check out Moxie MMA, man. It's a new brand. I see new brands all the time. Really good stuff. Another brand I want guys to check out, Torque. Torque's a really good brand that sets your Uriah Faber, our brother from another mother out in Cali, the California kid. He's got some cool gear. Like I said, hit us up on Twitter, and also Wisconsin MMA Today. That we wouldn't be here without our producer Ken putting all these cool videos together. And check out Wisconsin MMA Today at WI MMA Today. Thanks. Enjoy the fights.